How many LA tourist spots can I do in one day? Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson and welcome to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've done a video here, but now I'm back. So Los Angeles has a lot of tourist destinations. It's a massive place with so many to do, but you just can't seem to do them all in one day. But how many can you do in a day? Today, I'm going to attempt to do as many LA tourist spots as I can within a certain amount of time. Now, this is a video that I've been planning to do for about a month. Now I finally have the opportunity to do this video, and I've set a couple of rules for myself on how I want to accomplish this as realistically as possible. So the first rule is that I'm going to be taking a picture with the most iconic landmark of whatever tourist area I'm at. The second rule is that I can't be in one place for more than an hour. Now, there are some places I'll be visiting where I don't need to spend a full hour there, but once that full hour hits, I gotta move on to the next place. And parking and walking to that certain area does not count. You have to be in the area, and I'll show you why later on. And then 3, this challenge of how many LA tourist spots I can visit in a day has to be done within 12 hours. Right now it is 9:46, so let's say from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. I have to accomplish this challenge. And I'm gonna try and go for 10. That's right, 10 LA tourist spots within 12 hours. Can it be done? I have no idea, but I'm ready. I think I can do it. I've got my double toasted in Los Angeles shirt on. Without further ado, let's get this trip started. Now, the first stop on my adventure throughout Los Angeles is going to be the La Brea Tar Pits. I'm just going to be doing the tar pits here and not the museum. I'll save that for another video because there's a lot of places here that I've not showcased on my channel that I want to make full videos for in the future. But it's about less than 5 minutes till 10. Once I enter those gates there, that's when the hour-long timer will start before I have to leave. And since I'm just visiting the actual tar pits, I'm not gonna be staying the full hour, and I'm gonna be moving to my next destination, which is in walking distance, the Academy Museum, which I have showcased several times before, but this is where I'm starting. Hang on, wait for it now. All right, the adventure begins. Yeah, we're here in the La Brea Tar Pits. I'm gonna take a picture in front of these guys right here. It wouldn't be a visit to the La Brea Tar Pits without visiting the family that's losing their, I assume, mother or father in the actual tar. And you gotta be really careful here because I slipped. I slipped in the mud, but we're all fine. No casualties so far. So this is the Colombian mammoth. These sculptures were installed here in 1968. All right, so it says here that the mother is the one that's stuck in the tar while the father looks helplessly on, and as same for the offspring there. One thing you'll notice that the tar pits will like bubble every now and then because that's actual tar. It may look like water, but you do not want to be swimming in there, as you know, proof of this. There's actually a tiny pathway here that takes you to the other side of the tar pits. This is normally like another way to get to LACMA, but LACMA Museum is currently being renovated. We'll walk by that a little later, but the reason I'm here at this bridge is so I can get a better photo of the mammoths here without the fence blocking the way. So the actual museum for the La Brea Tar Pits is called the George C. Page Museum. It's a really famous museum. We got 2 statues of saber-toothed tigers, one where they're fighting each other and one over there where they're just chilling. We will not be doing this today. It's just going to be the tar pits in this area. But one of the cool things about being an LA resident is that between 3 and 5 on the weekdays, you actually get free admission to a lot of these museums. We will not be doing that today here, but I will be taking advantage of this perk, hopefully, later in the video. So for now, we're pretty much done with the La Brea Tar Pits, and now we're going to head to the Academy Museum. I'm not going to set the timer until like we actually leave the tar pits area. Here we have more of the tar pits. At least this is like Project 23. And over here we have Pit 9, which, yeah, there's a lot of tar in there. Not quite a river like the main landmark, but it's tar nonetheless. Again, in the future, I'd like to dedicate a whole video to the La Brea Tar Pits area and actually going inside the museum, but we're kind of on a time crunch for what I want to try to do, because being that this is LA, there's probably going to be traffic later in the day, and there's one destination that could very well be a hindrance to what I want to do. So we are going to save the tar pits for another time. We're still technically in the area, but we are getting close to actually leaving the tar pits. So we are at the edge of the La Brea tar pits before we head over into the LACMA area of Hancock Park. But I just have to point out right here, that sign that says closed today, that's been there like God knows how long. Like, I look at it and go, closed today? You've been closed forever, observation pit. But yeah, on that note, we are at the end of our time here at the La Brea tar pits. And we are officially now in the LACMA area. So I just checked my phone. We entered Hancock Park at 10 exactly and left the La Brea Tar Pits area at 10:12. So that's about 12 minutes exploring the La Brea Tar Pits. The next timer for like the hour I have to spend in a certain area is not going to start until I'm in the Academy Museum. The last time I was here, there was still a lot of construction for the new LACMA, and it's starting to come along really well. I actually had the opportunity to walk inside the new building. There's no art installed in it, but it's good. Like the building itself inside looks really cool, but I do miss the old building. I'm glad they did keep the Japanese art exhibit, though. Like, it would have been a disaster had that been torn down. We are now here at the Academy Museum, which I've showcased on this channel several times. I love this place, and I'm going to showcase this again in the future because we have the Jaws exhibition opening in a couple days. I'm actually recording this video on September 12th on a Friday, and the Jaws exhibition opens on Sunday the 14th. So I'm not going to be able to showcase the place on this video. There will be a separate video dedicated to the Jaws exhibition. And that's actually fine for me because based on the rules that I've set for myself in this video, I can't spend more than an hour in the Academy Museum, and if the Jaws exhibition was open, I'd be spending all the time in there. So let's go inside. Okay, so I entered the Academy Museum at 10:19, so I have until 11:19 to enjoy this place, and I'm starting out in one of my favorite rooms, the beginning of Stories of Cinema Level 2, and this room where you just have this montage of movies like West Side Story, there's Psycho, and it's set to the music from Blade Runner 2049. I find this room to be very, very peaceful and kind of inspiring in a way.
And our understandings will meet with love and generosity. Thank you on behalf of Mom and Brenda.
This room, the history of the Academy Awards, has not changed, but there are some changes, excluding the Jaws exhibition that I will be showing in this video. But this is relatively the same since I was here last.
Thank you.
Short, simple speech from Tatum O'Neal. The Bong Joon-ho exhibit is still here, which I've done a full video on already, so you can go check that out in the upper right-hand corner. Really love this exhibit, and here all the costumes and makeup and hairstyling. This is all from Sweeney Todd. A Tim Burton movie that I actually do enjoy. I don't know how well it's aged because I only saw it once, but I remember really, really liking it. So here's a fairly new exhibit that I did not showcase here last time I was at the Academy Museum. Barbie to Anna Karenina, the cinematic worlds of Sarah Greenwood and Katie Spencer. This exhibit basically is a showcase of the work of these two production designers from these two movies and the 2017 Beauty and the Beast. So let's check this out. I've seen this before, but let's go inside. So their other works here include Pride and Prejudice, which I've not seen, Atonement, which I've also not seen, Sherlock Holmes, which I really enjoy, but there's a little error right there. Sherlock Holmes actually came out in 2009, not 2010. And then Darkest Hour, which I actually really enjoy myself.
I've never been in Moscow Society, really. But you know my name. I've heard you mention it. Talked about it, didn't you?
I have not seen Anna Karenina myself, but it looks impressive, at least production design-wise. Now we're in the Beauty and the Beast section, which I have very mixed opinions on this movie. I think it's probably the best or second best of the Renaissance remakes. Guy Ritchie's Aladdin might be my favorite, but not by much. But the production design for this movie has always been outstanding. It is a beautiful movie to look at, despite how I feel about the movie itself. And now we come to Barbie, which I find it funny that both Sarah Greenwood and Katie Spencer's filmography mainly consists of these big, grand, epic period pieces, or fantasy in Beauty and the Beast case. And then there's this. That's not a criticism at all, because the production design for this movie is stellar. Absolutely stellar.
Sequences was one of the most difficult to kind of crack, actually, because we're in a place that has no water. So
There's no wind, so the sand never ever bothers you. We've got signs that say swim with sharks, and every day is a happy swimmer's day. I mean, everything is perfect about Barbie Beach.
also slightly based on the Psycho house, which everybody loves and knows.
And where everybody has their mailbox, Barbie Margaret has the flamingo. Of course, we're Barbie has Valerie the vulture.
No! That's the capital. Ah! It's pink.
One noteworthy thing about Beauty and the Beast and their work on it is that both Katie Spencer and Sarah Greenwood, in addition to being production designers for that movie, they also ended up being character designers, because they had to make Lumiere, Cogsworth, Mrs. Potts, and all the other characters that are household appliances. So that's a pretty big accomplishment, and makes me appreciate that movie a little more from the design department. Again, I think the movie itself is just, it is what it is, but it's really a visually breathtaking movie to look at. Now we're going to head into Stories of Cinema number 3, greeted by Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, because the science fiction, superhero fantasy area is probably my favorite, permanent section of the museum. Nothing in this exhibit has changed. You've still got Captain America's shield, you've still got Iron Man's helmet, the Gill Man from Shape of Water, you've still got some props from the Star Wars sequel trilogy. So this is all nothing new. I just really, really love this room. Right now it's about 10:55. I've been in the Academy Museum for more than a half hour. I'm actually going to head off to my next destination, but first I got to take a picture with what I think is the most iconic landmark of the Academy Museum, and that is Bruce the Shark. You just got to get a photo with Bruce the Shark. I can't think of another thing in the Academy Museum more iconic than him. Bye-bye, Bruce the Shark. I'll see you at my next LA tourist destination. Alright, so that's going to do it for the Academy Museum. It is now 11 o'clock, top of the hour, and I managed to do 2 areas in 1 hour. But the rest of the video is probably going to be a little more tricky, because I'm going to have to drive to everywhere else I need to go, and there's not going to be as much of a convenience from getting to one place to another. So I'm going to head to my car. I actually parked on the street rather than paid the $20 for parking at the La Brea Tar Pits, because I know there are some places where I'm going to be paying for parking. But yeah, let's head over to our next destination, which is going to be Universal Studios Hollywood. All right, so I'm walking through City Walk right now, heading to Universal Studios Hollywood, and the hour for my time being here doesn't actually start until I'm in the park. And this is the place that is maybe the biggest hindrance for me. I mean, I love Universal, but in terms of completing this challenge, the only thing that's you have to do at Universal is the studio tour, which can go up to 45 minutes to an hour. So yeah, if I only limit myself to an hour at each location, then I gotta really rush out as soon as that hour is up. But I'm gonna get through the gates, and I'll keep you updated on what's gonna happen and what time I actually enter. Okay, so I'm in the park. I got in 11:54. I know it takes me about 5 minutes to walk from the main gate to the studio tour, and last I checked on the app, the studio tour has a 5-minute wait. So let's see where we are in terms of time by the time the tour ends. Again, 11:54 is when I enter the park. 12:54 is when I need to go on to the next area. Now, a lot has happened with Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. They have a full-on sign painted. Some of the construction walls are down. This looks pretty awesome. Next year is when it opens. I am excited for it. It looks like it's a gift shop also. I'll have to check this out in more detail later on, another time. But right now, I'm on a time crunch. All right, we're here at the tour. It took me a little less than 5 minutes. It's still listed as a 5-minute wait, and we've got a bunch of Halloween Horror Nights decor out. I will be back to film another vlog of this at some point. I will be doing Horror Nights in addition to Dark Harbor once again, so make sure you're subscribed to this channel and stay tuned for those videos in the future. So I've decided to switch to my Canon GX7 because for some reason the battery on my Osmo is really low, so I'm letting it charge. But I got on the tram about 12:02. Now we're just waiting to take off.
Make sure everyone got a pair of 3D glasses because it's going to be your only opportunity to get a pair of 3D glasses. Now, you don't need to wear your 3D glasses right now because, spoiler alert, everything is already in 3D. All right, everybody, we got the thumbs up, we got the green light, we got the good to go, we got the HOTTOGO. So, we gonna go. Wave goodbye to everyone waiting in line. Bye. You're never gonna see them again.
You got the very best guide.
Money.
And the greatest driver.
Matthew.
You're the best. I love them. Even though
Money.
owes me $5.
Wait, what?
Jabari, what have been your most memorable moments?
I don't know. I mean, there's so many to choose from. You know, I love the 4-year set when Will first enters, and at that moment, his life changes forever. What about you?
Well, the Bel Air Academy gym set is here too, and I remember you having to sit in that cold ice bath for hours.
Yeah.
Adventure awaits us, so please remain seated and hold on. Please, no flash photography. We don't want to alert any wildlife, aka dinosaurs, to our presence.
Going there, I got to see in person props from the movies, photos from behind the scenes, original illustrations from those movie posters, all this stuff. I had an early affection for movie monsters. I was always fascinated by the magic behind making movies, but I fell in love with zombie movies and monster movies as a young kid.
Monsters, Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, right? The Mummy, the Hunchback,
The Invisible Man.
Phantom of the Opera. From the best-selling novel, Jaws.
Hey, Bruce, just saw you recently. Oh!
Continuing on our left, you're going to see our Hollywood sign decked out for Halloween Horror Nights. And continuing on our left, you'll see an original highlight of the tour, the home of Norman Bates. Oh, I did not realize that Norman was home today. It's a little awkward. Hey, Norman. How you doing, buddy? Hi. Do you want to sign some autographs for us today? Yeah? Oh, no. He's got a Sharpie.
Wow.
On behalf of myself, our driver Matthew, and everyone here at Universal Studios Hollywood, we hope you've enjoyed this exclusive behind-the-scenes experience. And as we say here in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
So I just got off the tour about 12:47. The tour started at 12:07, so it was about a 40-minute tour. Not having Fast and Furious Supercharged definitely made things go by faster, but right now it is 12:53. I've been in the park for 59 minutes, which means I gotta get out of here and leave and go to the next tourist spot, which I will tell you once I leave the park. It's always a fun time at Universal, and I've done plenty of videos here at the park, and I will do several more in the future. But today it's just more about the LA tourist destinations, and this is just one of them. So we've got 3 down, and I suppose it's 7 more to go. And I actually did take a photo in front of the globe here, which is the most iconic landmark of the park. And I want to thank the team member Sophia for taking my picture. So thank you for that. And we are off to our next destination, which is going to be the LA Zoo. All right, so I made it to the Los Angeles Zoo. I left Universal at 1:10 and then managed to park here at 1:22. So about a 12-minute drive from Universal to the zoo, not bad. The zoo actually closes at 3:45, so I'm not gonna waste any more time and just hop right on in. So I entered the zoo at 1:28 and I've got until 2:28 to enjoy this place. I'm currently in front of the harbor seal exhibit. There was just one harbor seal swimming around. Oh, hold on. There it is. Yeah, I don't remember the last time I was at, actually, no, I do remember the last time I was at the zoo. It was 2011, but I have not been here since, nor have I even showcased this place on this channel at all. So one day I'm gonna have to come back and just spend a full day here at the zoo. But right now I'm on an hour time crunch, and that seal is gonna distract me, so I gotta move on. So this here is a map of the zoo, and I am all the way down there at the entry promenade. So there's a lot of zoo to explore, not enough time, especially if I'm stopping to do this. But we've got animals of South America, rainforest of the Americas, the aviary, the layer, which is a bunch of reptiles, orangutan, gorilla, animals of Africa, a lot to do. I won't be able to showcase this all because I gotta leave this place at 2:28 to move on to my next place. I'm actually really excited to be here. It's nice and quiet. I don't think there's a lot of crowds. I mean, there's less people here right now than there were at Universal Studios Hollywood, so that might work to my advantage. I think the game plan I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to see if I can do a circle walk around the zoo, just to cover the whole place without actually spending time at each animal exhibit. And we'll see what happens. I mean, as long as I don't get lost or anything, then I think we'll be good. Because if I got lost here, that's not gonna bode well for this challenge. Right now I'm at the meerkat exhibit. Hey there, little guy. You keeping your eyes open for Pumbaa? Found the other 2 meerkats. They're just digging around right over there for something. Meanwhile, their buddy here is on patrol, just watching the area and watching, basically people watching. And now we have a whole flock of flamingos here, and they just started yapping away as soon as I start recording the camera. Oh, where are you? What are you doing? Well, yeah, for some reason I used to think that this exhibit was right at the entrance, but I guess I have that mixed up with the zoo in San Antonio, which was actually the last zoo I visited back in 2022. If I ever return to San Antonio, I will go there and gladly do a vlog of that place, because I think that's a terrific zoo. There's a lot of flamingos just chilling out over there. Oh, what are you 2 doing? What are you 3 doing? Flamingos are just really, really funny birds. I'm surprised that we can get this close up to them. Like, here's the 3 flamingos here, and this is where I am. Like, we can get that close to the flamingos. Obviously, you can't touch them, but that's wild. And I don't even have the wide-angle lens on right now. Here's what it looks like with the wide-angle lens on. They're such weird birds, but I love them. We have now come to a fork in the road where we can either go right for the treetops and the World of Birds show, or the left for the reptile layer and animals of Australia. I'm going to go downhill to the layer and Australian animals. The layer, living amphibians, invertebrate, and reptiles. We got an active little guy down there. This is the lance-headed rattlesnake. And yeah, he, she, they are just like hanging out up against the glass. I'm glad there is a glass in front of me because I cannot handle rattlesnakes of any kind. Like smaller like snakes that are not poisonous, I'm fine with. They're a little creepy though, but rattlesnakes just terrify me. If there's anything that I can't stand over a venomous snake, it's one that's big and hiding in plain sight. Because look, its head right there looks like any one of the leaves here. Ugh. Here we have oh, I never know how to pronounce this. It's not a crocodile, but it has one of those like really thin snouts. Okay, it's pronounced gharial, and these things are really lifeless right now. Some of them are moving. I saw, well, this one right here is he's blinking his eyes a few times, and this one right down here on the bottom just moved his leg. I'm not as creeped out by these as I am snakes, but just the fact that they're so motionless. If someone walks into their territory or walks by them, they can just snap at you instantly. But they also share this with the painted river terrapin, basically a type of turtle, right down there. That turtle's just minding its own business, enjoying the water, while these guys are just chilling. So we are now right here in front of the orangutan gorilla exhibit. I got to keep walking because I've spent almost a full 30 minutes here, and that reptile lair area really took a lot of time out. So we got to keep moving. Got some zebras over here. Grevy zebra, as they're called. Hey there. This one's just staring me down. You enjoying your afternoon, buddy? Okay, he's not staring me down, or maybe he is. Up ahead, there's the giraffes. 3 of them. Actually, one of them is behind the cage. You can just see their pattern right. Yep, there's the third one, raising its head. But yeah, it's the second one right here, and then the third one right over here, staring at another group of guests. Right over there is the western lowland gorilla. So this guy would be the second gorilla I have seen today. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, there's 2 of them right there. Just hanging out, enjoying the simple life. So right now it is 2:13. I have to be out of the zoo by 2:29, which is 2:28. Basically around that time period, so I don't have that much time. I thought I was heading in the direction of the animals from Asia, but instead I just went through elephants of Asia, and now I'm back to where I am. So I think I'm just going to start making my way back towards the entrance of the zoo. I'll stop by the aviary because it's on the way, but then I am going to just leave and head to my next destination. So that's going to do it for the LA Zoo. It is now 2:30, so I have been in there for an hour. And I hoped I wouldn't get lost in the zoo, but turns out that I did get lost in the zoo. Oh, the irony. But I managed to make it out within an hour. So I'm going to take a photo in front of the sign, the entrance, because I'd hoped to get a picture with one of the elephants, because I thought, well, elephants are a really popular animal. Why not have that be the landmark of the LA Zoo? That sounds wrong to say, but there weren't any elephants around. In fact, there were a lot of exhibits in the zoo that were actually closed, but now I have an excuse to come back and dedicate a full day and vlog to this place, because that was fun. For the little time I was here and for how lost I got at points, it was fun. So the next place I'd planned to go to was the Griffith Observatory, because it's not that far off, but we are getting close to 3 p.m. and for select museums on weekdays from 3 to 5, you get free admission. And I'm actually gonna save the observatory for later and get in my car here and head to the Natural History Museum in downtown, because I don't want to risk going to the observatory and then I don't have enough time to do the Natural History Museum. So the studio tour at Universal was my biggest hindrance in like how long I have to stay there. It ultimately didn't affect anything, but the The Natural History Museum is the one that I feel like I have to go to. So I will see you guys at the Natural History Museum. All right, I'm on the other side of downtown Los Angeles. I just paid $20 for parking at the California Science Center, which we will not be doing because we're here for the Natural History Museum. It is currently 3:19. So we'll wait till we get to the museum to start the hour-long timer, but probably shouldn't take that long to see what needs to be seen at that museum for an hour. So I haven't been to the California Science Center in over 20 years, but it looks like this is a major expansion that they're working on, the Samuel Oschin Air and Space Center. It doesn't look like it has a date, but it also doesn't look like it's ready to open yet. So this will be exciting to see because I'm actually a big fan of air and space museums. Can't remember I think the last one I was at was in Tacoma, Washington, or between Tacoma and Seattle, Washington, when I was visiting my brother. That's a really good museum. But one day I'll come back and visit the Science Center. But for now, it's just gonna be the Natural History Museum. Once I enter the building, that's when I'm gonna start the timer for the hour I need to spend in here before I have to move on to my next area, which I'm gonna try to make the next place I go to be the Griffith Observatory. We'll see what happens. I was hoping to do the observatory sooner than later because parking up there is just horrendous, but I also know I had to catch this before 5 p.m. I entered the museum at 3:26. I have until 4:26 to get out. And of course I had to take a picture in front of the Triceratops and T-Rex skeletons. I am now in the African mammal exhibit, and since I didn't get to see any elephants at the zoo earlier today, I guess this will make up for the fact that I didn't see them at the zoo. And here's some more giraffes, just fake ones. So I'm on the second floor of the museum, and I had no idea that there was another Mammals of North America exhibit on the second floor. I just assumed it was the one on the lower floor on the other side of the dueling dinos. But this is spacious. It's really cool. It's not as air-conditioned as the first floor, but there are 3 different bears that they have on display. And if you ever need to know the danger level of each bear, if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, get down. And if it's white, good night. I remember going to SeaWorld way back in like 2006, and Wild Arctic still had polar bears on display. That's insane that like they would keep the most dangerous bear in existence. Like I never thought that the polar bear of all of them would be the most dangerous, but oh well. And you can barely see me because of the exhibit behind me. There we go. That's a little better. One of my most prominent memories of visiting the Natural History Museum as a kid was this megamouth shark. It actually used to be somewhere over there, way over there, and since then they've moved it here. And this thing has always just creeped me out. Megamouths are always creepy to begin with, but this one is just, ugh. It's about 10 minutes till I have to leave, so I think I'm actually gonna head out right now, but I just wanted to say that this museum, if you just like kind of skim through all the exhibits, you could technically knock this place out within an hour. You probably don't want to because you want to take your time and really soak everything in, but I managed to really explore every inch and corner of this museum. That is except for the cat exhibit, which you do need a separate ticket for, but you know what, maybe next time. I would love to dedicate a full video to the Natural History Museum at some point in the future and just really soak in everything and showcase everything that this place has to offer to you guys, because the point of this video is not to showcase everything wherever I go. This is to see how many LA tourist destinations I can do within 12 hours. And we are halfway through. This was the 5th place to visit. We did the La Brea Tar Pits, the Academy Museum, Universal, the Zoo, and now the Natural History Museum. So let's head to our next destination. Goodbye, Natural History Museum. See ya next time. But before we actually leave, right over there is the upcoming George Lucas Museum that's going to feature a full-scale N1 Naboo starfighter. So I'm really excited for this museum, and the fact that it's so close to the Natural History Museum and the Science Center. It's just so convenient. So I'm really looking forward to that when it opens. I think next year is when it opens. Right now it's 4:30 and I have 5 hours and 29 minutes to complete this task and go to 5 different other LA tourist destinations. So I checked my map. The Griffith Observatory, the fastest way is just to go straight up Vermont. That's going to take about 45 minutes, which is not fast, but it's faster than taking the freeway. So I'm going to try that. Hopefully there's a good amount of parking at the observatory, because the next couple other places that I plan to visit, the last 4, might not be too much of a hassle. But I've already done Universal and the Natural History Museum. Now I have to tackle the next big hassle, the observatory. So let's see if we can do this. Okay, I'm here at the Griffith Observatory. It took me about 55 minutes to get from the Natural History Museum to here. I parked at 526, and this place, it's like you pay $10 per hour to park here. So this is the one exception where I have an hour starting when I park. So we're not gonna have that much time to explore the museum as opposed to Universal or the Natural History Museum or everything else. But yeah, let's go check this place out. The last time I was at the Griffith Observatory was actually last year during the holiday season when my brother and his partner came to visit LA. And I really enjoyed this place. It's also a very well-known filming location. Like this whole patch of grass right behind me, that's from the original Terminator. Inside the observatory, in the main dome actually, is where they filmed La La Land, and behind the observatory is where they filmed the first Michael Bay Transformers, where the Autobots are just hanging out there before they go off to rescue Bumblebee and fight the Decepticons. And I know when I did my Santa Monica Pier video, I got a few comments concerning Grand Theft Auto 5. This is a location in Grand Theft Auto 5, except it's not the Griffith Observatory, it is Griffith Observatory. It just goes by a different name because it's not Los Angeles, it's Los Santos. But enough chit-chat. Let's actually go inside and explore this place.
An option rest with stand. An option will stand. On the side of my mind outside force. All that means, if I was in space and I threw a baseball right in front of me, that baseball would go on forever and ever and ever. It's the Academy. But because we live on Earth, Ariston slows the ball down and gravity brings that ball down. So when we pull back this pendulum, let it go, the pendulum just wants to go. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in the same direction. That's always been going.
Right here is a basic timeline of the universe, essentially. It starts with the Big Bang, then the curtain of light and the first candles in the darkness. It first started around like 14 billion years ago. Think about how long that is. 14 billion years. Yikes. You know, it probably would have been better had I done this first instead of the Natural History Museum, like save that after the observatory. But, you know, time restraints and what I have to do with this challenge, I think it was better I did the Natural History Museum first. But if I didn't have such a time crunch, I'd start here and then just head right over to the Natural History Museum. Because outside of parking, the observatory is free. Like, you could just walk into the observatory and just chill out. So that's really convenient. You just go to the observatory, check everything out, and then around 3 o'clock, you get in your car, drive down to downtown to the Natural History Museum, and continue your science adventure. The first signs of life, known as hard bodies, didn't appear until 13.1 billion years after the Big Bang. Now we're officially down in the lower level, and we have all the planets of the solar system lined up, starting with Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. It's hidden, but Uranus is behind the rings, Neptune and Pluto, which you could barely see at the end. One of the cool things you can do at each of these kiosks for each planet is see how much you weigh compared to how much you weigh on Earth. Now, this is Mercury. I'm not going to show you guys how much I weigh on Earth just yet, but on Mercury, I weigh, looks like about 55 pounds, I'd say. If we head over to Venus, I weigh about 150, which is closer to what I weigh on Earth. And speaking of Earth, my weight here on Earth is about 190, close to 200. Now it's time to see how much I weigh on Jupiter. How much do I weigh on a gas planet compared to a solid planet? And whoa, that's too much. It looks like I weigh 440 pounds, 435 maybe. That's a lot. Now compared to Saturn, I actually weigh less on Saturn than I do on Earth. That's, to quote Spock, fascinating. I'm going to skip straight ahead to Pluto because on Uranus and Neptune, I weigh around the same as I do on Saturn and Earth. And Pluto, I weigh practically nothing. Like maybe 10, 15 pounds perhaps. I'll take it. One of the really interesting things about each planet is how long they take to rotate around the sun. For example, Uranus takes 84 years to rotate the sun. And that is 84 years on Earth is 1 year for Uranus. Yes, I know I've been saying Uranus a lot, and I'm really immature because it's actually Uranus. But I believe if Futurama is anything to go by, they'll rename it in 6 decades to Eurectum. So 6 decades before Uranus basically comes to an end, and that joke dies forever. I'm actually going to head back outside and check out the views from the observatory, but getting back to Uranus, until the day that joke dies, that's Uranus. I've got 10 minutes left before my parking expires, but here is a beautiful view of Los Angeles. There's downtown down there. The, quote, Hollywood, unquote, over there, Century City, Santa Monica, which we'll be attempting to go to later on. I want to point out that since parking is $10 an hour, which I think is a ripoff, a better alternative, and one that's healthy, is you can actually take this hiking trail. If you park at the bottom, the base down there, you don't have to pay parking, and you get some exercise by walking up this trail to the observatory. So if it wasn't for time restraints, I would have happily taken this route instead of having to pay $10. So over here is where the hiking trail ends when you get to the observatory, but up ahead there's actually another trail if you want to hike up that mountain. But before we go, there's actually one more film-related thing we have to address or see at the observatory, and that of course is James Dean. It's kind of hard to see his face because of the sun. James Dean filmed Rebel Without a Cause at the Griffith Observatory, and he's famous for being an actor that made so few films, died very young, but left such an impact. He was born in 1931 and died in 1955. All right, so 6 tourist destinations down, only 4 more to go. And I don't like to say anything negative on this channel because I like to focus on the positive stuff and just enjoy my time traveling and showing these places to you guys. But I gotta say, the food here, like the observatory is great. I'm going to put that out there right now. It's a great place to visit, but the food here is sorry as hell. So I haven't eaten since breakfast, and I decided to get a hot dog and some Oreo ice cream bites from their cafeteria. And that hot dog is the sorriest hot dog I have ever eaten. I couldn't even finish it. It was this giant hot dog with this really tiny hot dog bun where one side was like cardboard essentially and the other was mushy. Like the hot dog was just way too big for the bun, and it just tasted, I mean, the hot dog itself was fine, but with the bun, it was just so, it was so bad. And it's $8.50. It was $8.50, not worth it. So I recommend bringing your own food if you ever come here. All right, before I take off, I'm going to try one of these Oreo ice cream bites and see if they're any better. Okay. I mean, they're better than a hot dog. I still say bring your own food, but there's no harm in grabbing a snack from here, I'd say. Just the main food itself, I wouldn't bother. So I'm going to put the camera away. I'm going to finish these Oreo bites while I'm on the road as I head to the Hollywood sign. I've got 3.5 hours left to complete the challenge, but I can't go anywhere because I am blocked. Oh, they're moving. Okay, I've got to go. Bye-bye. All right, now I am here at the Lake Hollywood Park. I actually parked my car at around 7 p.m. and this is basically the closest I can get to the Hollywood sign right behind me. And no, the bloody Hollywood sign you saw in the studio tour does not count. So that's why I'm here, and there's really no reason to stay here any longer. We just need to see the Hollywood sign, which is a major iconic landmark in Los Angeles. And now we can head on to our next destination, number 7. I'm sorry, scratch that, number 8, which will be Hollywood Boulevard, another place where we don't need to spend a whole lot of time. So it's now 7:45. I'm here at the Ovation, or Hollywood and Highland Mall. I left Lake Hollywood Park around 7:03. The reason it took this long for me to get from there to here is because I had to stop for gas. I was running low, which I probably should have done before taking the challenge, but also just navigating through traffic and trying to avoid the Hollywood Bowl traffic was another thing I had to do. But I'm making my way to Hollywood Boulevard, which there's a lot to do on Hollywood Boulevard already, but the entire area is just one big LA tourist attraction in itself. We got the El Capitan Theater right here. The Dolby Theater is down that way where they host the Academy Awards. But the place that I've decided to take a photo in front of is going to be the Chinese Theater. At least partially you could see it because there's a giant inflatable stone for Spinal Tap 2, which I didn't even know was coming out. I've never seen the original Spinal Tap. I want to, but I didn't even know the sequel was coming out until it came out. So yeah, I'm gonna try to take a picture in front of the Chinese Theater as best I can with this thing blocking it, but I'll also take a picture in front of the El Capitan as like a backup. Yeah, there's already a lot to do here on Hollywood Boulevard. The Walk of Fame is an attraction itself, so that's mainly the thing that I'm visiting, but behind me is Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. Further down there is Ripley's Believe It or Not, several other wax museums. There's Amoeba Music, past Hollywood and Vine. There's the Funko Museum, which I've never been to before. But yeah, the Walk of Fame is all I'm going to be exploring, and seeing the El Capitan and the Chinese Theater behind me. Really quickly, before I leave, I need to pay my respects to the king, again. Okay, respects paid, let's go. So on your left here is actually the space where they had the Dogman experience earlier this year, which I did a full video for. And it felt like I did that ages ago. So much has happened this year, whether it's good or bad, that I forgot that the Dogman experience was this year in January. Holy crap. Yeah, this year's been a lot. Before I leave to my next destination, there's one more thing I want to mention as a follow-up to my Dogman experience video. So the pillars here at the Ovation have names and years of the Best Picture winners at the Academy Awards. Last time I was here, the Academy Awards had not happened. It was either going to be Conclave, Wicked, or Anora that was going to win Best Picture. Like I said, it's probably going to be Conclave. I wanted to be Anora, but I'd be fine with Wicked. Well, since then, the Academy Awards have happened, and this makes me so happy. Anora was my favorite movie of 2024. The fact that it won Best Picture, it gives me bragging rights. So, yeah, let's move on. All right, it is time to leave Hollywood Boulevard. I'm just gonna get in my car right now. It's 8 p.m., so it's been 10 hours since I've started the challenge. I've got 2 more places I need to visit, and luckily they're all on the way from each other. So the next stop is going to be the Grove and Farmers Market. And then finishing off this trip, hopefully I can do this before 10 p.m. hits, Santa Monica, the Santa Monica Pier. Yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's head to the Grove. All right, so I finally made it to the Grove. It is 8:25. I've got an hour and 35 minutes before I need to complete this challenge. This is number 9 out of 10 destinations I need to visit. It may be a shopping mall, but it's an iconic one, and sometimes can bring in just as many, if not more, visitors than Disneyland. So, I mean, I don't know how long that statistic's been around, or if that's even accurate anymore, but the Grove is an iconic place nonetheless, and we're just gonna basically walk around it. Right up ahead is the AMC Theaters, and over here are the fountains, which when you think of the Grove, you usually think of these fountains, and this is where I'm gonna take my photo. Up ahead is the historic farmers market, which has been around for ages, much longer than the Grove. I opted to not count this as a separate destination just because the Grove and the farmers market are essentially connected to one another. If you park at the Grove, you can't get it validated at the farmers market and vice versa, but because they're just so close together, I just feel like it wouldn't be fair to count them as two separate destinations. I mean, if I did, I'd win the challenge easily, but I decided to make it challenging, that's why it's a challenge, and head over to Santa Monica. So I'm not going to spend too much time here because I've got an hour and a half left to complete this. One of the most famous places to visit in the farmers market is Dupar's Restaurant and Bakery. They have amazing pancakes. They've been around since 1938. Usually on the weekends, especially in the mornings, this place can get really crowded. Right now, being 8:30, it doesn't look that busy, especially for a Friday night. All right, folks, so it's 8:43. I'm about to leave the Grove and head to Santa Monica to try and hopefully complete this challenge before 10 p.m. But I'm recording this on my iPhone because while I was walking through the Grove, a security guard noticed my Osmo Pocket 3 and said, "Oh, there's no filming here besides your iPhone." I'm like, okay, that's a weird rule, but I'll follow it. But on to Santa Monica, and let's hopefully complete this challenge before 10 p.m. All right, I'm filming this on my iPhone again. I just parked in Santa Monica. It is 9:15. I've got 45 minutes to head to the pier and do something there before time runs out. So let's go. All right, head into the Santa Monica Pier. Filming this on my iPhone again because I am just trying to get down there before time runs out. But I've got over like 30 minutes. It's 9:23 right now, so I am good on time. I just don't want to stop and pull out the Osmo Pocket until I actually get down there. All right, so it's 9:33. I technically completed the challenge, but I'm not ready to call it just yet because I found out that Pacific Park is actually open until 10. So to actually finalize the challenge and me completing it in under 12 hours, I'm going to go on one of the rides. And I don't think there's any better ride to go on than the roller coaster. So there it goes. I saw there was a low wait time, so I'm gonna get a ticket, hop in line for this ride, and officially celebrate this completed challenge. West Coaster, the roller coaster that's so nice we did it twice. They asked us if we wanted to go again after the first round, and we were like, yeah, let's do it. And with that, with only 6 minutes and 50 seconds to spare, I've completed the challenge. 10 LA tourist destinations in 12 hours. The La Brea Tar Pits, the Academy Museum, Universal Studios Hollywood, the LA Zoo, the Natural History Museum, the Griffith Observatory, the Hollywood Sign, Hollywood Boulevard, the Grove Farmers Market, and now Pacific Park at the Santa Monica Pier. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This was quite the adventure. It's probably the France videos were bigger because I was literally in another country, but this is definitely a video that I've been planning for a couple weeks now, and I didn't think I could do it. Like, I literally thought, well, I might get half or most of them, but I didn't think I'd get all of them, and I did. So I feel quite accomplished. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you really enjoyed this, but you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so, especially if you're a fan of traveling videos and theme park stuff, because in the next couple of weeks, I'll be doing Halloween Horror Nights, Dark Harbor. I'm planning to do Not Scary Farm, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure to give this video a like, leave a comment. What are some of your favorite LA tourist destinations? Let me know down there below. And if you want to follow me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads, Blue Sky, and my movie review channel right here on YouTube. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and safe travels. Really briefly, before the video officially ends, I need you all to see the timer running out. That's it. I just needed to show you all that. Anyway, take care and safe travels, guys.